The wait is over. You were waiting, right?
Oh, God. No. Please, no.
The end is nigh. Darwin and Cat are back.
There was a time not that long ago when Friday night required strategy. This was a time before the instant media we know today. No streaming, no instant gratification, no mercy. Welcome to the now vanished world of the video rental store. Oh, your town, no matter how big or small, probably had one. Mine sure did. Cats did too. If you were alive at the right moment in history, your weekend likely followed the same ritual. Get dressed, put on shoes, leave the house, and then you would enter a fluorescent lit temple of plastic cases, hoping one of the two copies of the movie you wanted was still there. This week, we're traveling back to the golden age of the neighborhood video star, where clerks judged hard, late fees ruined families, and the phrase, be kind, rewind, actually meant something. Plus, what was behind that mysterious curtain? This is Pop Culture Garbage Barge. Welcome aboard.
Get on the boat, weirdos.
I was once denied a video rental card because the owner thought I was a mass murderer. But first, some history from Darwin.
Well, what? I feel like we should address that before I get into history, but then again, we need to keep people listening, right? That's one hell of a breadcrumb, Miss Cat.
My homie Darwin, he's got a master's degree in history. So here's his lesson. Yo mama, word.
Starting in the late 1970s, early 1980s, the VCR starts to enter American homes. And of course, before that, there was Betamax, and there was the big debate between the two. And VHS tapes, $70 to $100 each. So adjusting for inflation, they were mad expensive. And renting, well, why not rent something expensive? That becomes the better option. More affordable, boom, video rental industry is born. So by the 1980s, there are thousands of independent mom and dad type video stores open across the country. The inventory is usually pretty limited. 1985, enter Blockbuster, founded in Dallas, Texas, with that bright lighting, standardized layouts, and family-friendly branding, computerized checkout systems. That was a very big deal back in the 80s and 90s. And it transformed the whole industry. So by the late 90s, early 90s into all the way through the decade, Blockbuster expands aggressively through franchising, acquisitions, and they really start to dominate the whole field. And at its peak, in the early 2000s, Blockbuster had over 9,000 stores worldwide. But as we all know, what comes along? Competitors, right? Hollywood Video, Movie Gallery, which, by the way, that name we're going to remember later because the one in my town was a ripoff of that name. They start to compete nationally, usually opening stores near Blockbuster. So when Blockbuster didn't have the two copies of it, maybe Hollywood did. And late fees, that's where they made their money for real, hundreds of millions of dollars annually. But in 1997, DVDs were making the rounds, or I don't know how to put that. Like they were the advent of DVDs.
They were creeping on in.
Creeping on in. I like that. Netflix decides to do this mail service without the late fees. And that was 1997. Boom. It really explodes. It takes over. And by the late 2000s, we have broadband internet everywhere. Netflix goes, instead of these DVDs, let's start just actually streaming them. 2010, Blockbuster files for bankruptcy, and most of their stores are DOA by 2014, which, by the way, did you know Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix for like around $50 million?
Yeah, that's kind of an oops.
And they said pass, dummies. As of this recording, 2026, one Blockbuster remains in Bend, Oregon. Okay, at this point, I really shouldn't be surprised by anything you say, but wow. Okay, why did a video store owner think that you're a mass murderer?
I decided in my sophomore year of high school that I was a strong, independent woman, and I no longer wanted to be tethered to my family's Blockbuster account. So this mom and pop video store opened nearby. So I walked there and I told the owner I'd like to get my own video card. And he handed me an application. And Darwin, it was like applying for a mortgage. Okay, full legal name, date of birth, employment history, last three addresses, driver's license number, which I didn't drive yet. So I just had my school ID. And at the bottom, it said I needed to provide a character reference for renting movies.
Ridiculous.
I know. So I knew my friends, especially my OG Andy, would absolutely fuck with this guy.
So wait a minute. You immediately decided you were going to mess with him and not.
I was actually sincere. I just wanted a card. And we had 2 stores, and I didn't want to go to Blockbuster anymore because I'm a strong, independent lady of the 11th grade. I was 15.
So who do you pick? OG Andy?
No. I picked my most studious, serious friend. Her name was Chloe.
Oh, wait a minute. So I'm thinking, okay, my brain miswired there for a second. I'm thinking, oh, you went with Andy knowing he would mess, but you don't want to mess with them.
Right.
So you went with
I
Chloe.
actually just want a video card. And I knew
this
that
was
like,
okay.
had he called Andy, it would have been a disaster. Okay. So I wrote her, I wrote all her information down and I thought, well, she's going to give me a thoughtful, measured review of my character, right? But being 15, I promptly forgot to warn her that a video store owner with a very strong Middle Eastern accent was going to call her and ask questions about me. So he calls her.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he doesn't introduce himself. He just launches into the questions. Do you know Kathleen? How long you know her? Is she honest? Does she steal? Would she make a good video rental customer? And Chloe was completely caught off guard. And she responds with absolute confidence. Oh, Kat's a pathological liar and probably a mass murderer. And also, fuck off.
Oh, no. Did you get the card?
Nope.
Well, my story is a lot more tame, or well, at least a little less anxiety than yours. As you know, and most of our friends know, I grew up in a super small town. And for a long time, we had only one video store. It was called the Video Voyager. We had to stop going there, though, because if I remember correctly, and I might have been like 9, 10 years old when this happened, maybe somewhere in there. So I have a foggy memory here, but either the owner or one of their family members that had worked there or something was a creeper and had been arrested for said creeping.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how true it was, although I feel like it was more than a small town rumor. I think that they were on the registry eventually or something.
This is how every documentary about a small town starts.
Yeah, actually, this is the formula, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were without video rentals for a while. I mean, the store was still open, but nobody was going there. So a new video store sort of opens. My mother worked at the appliance store downtown, which also doubled as a Radio Shack, and it doubled as the propane supplier and a whole bunch of other things. Yeah, I know. So why not slide some of the dishwashers out of the way and make room for a video section?
Well, nothing screams Friday night like propane and dishwashers.
There wasn't much going on in Hoosick Falls, so that was the thing. Well, it was really successful. So the son-in-law of the owner, it was his idea, and they were his videos. So he decided he was going to open an independent video store next door. And this is where I mentioned in the intro, he calls it Video Gallery.
Ah, okay. So your town was so small that even Blockbuster ignored it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Wow.
We did not have a Blockbuster or anything. We had a ripoff of Movie Gallery called Video Gallery.
Ah, easy to confuse. Okay, yep.
It's like, what the hell, right? No Blockbuster for us. So I used to take my allowance down there to see what I could rent. And that was really regular. I didn't get much of an allowance. So I was regularly to this rack that was maybe like 10 or 25 cents. They were, bargain rack. And it was movies nobody wanted. I mean, it was the orphans of the movie world. So I watched some really unmemorable turds from that rack. But then one day, and why I was ever allowed to rent this, I don't know. I was like 12 or 13. It was called Curse of the Queer Wolf. And it was totally the most messed up thing I'd ever watched.
Curse of the Queer Wolf.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I love a movie with gay wolves. So was the plot any good?
It definitely had a plot, although it was really demented. So I'll do my best to remember all the details, despite years of trying to forget. So we start off with some guy. He's trying to get intimate, we'll say, one night stand with who he thinks is a woman, but turns out to be a transvestite.
Oh, that old story.
Yeah. And then I'm not sure if that's the right word, if that's okay still, but speaking in the context of the time it was made, that's the word they used. Not that any cultural sensitivity exists in the film at all. And ironically, I found out later in life, this is a huge cult classic in the gay world, at least the older gays.
Okay. Don't keep me in suspense. What happens next?
Okay. So when things start heating up, the transvestite bites the guy on the ass. And so he falls under this curse as a result. Every full moon, he transforms into the queer wolf, becoming flamboyantly gay, wearing drag and cruising for men, much to his horror.
Okay, how does one actually know one is a queer wolf?
Good question.
Okay.
When the moon is full.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He wakes up in the next morning with no memory of what happened, but there's clues. There's clues like waking up with in strange places, wearing women's clothing, getting reports from horrified friends about what he was doing the night before.
That just sounds like he had one too many Zimas.
I forget if he breaks the curse or not. And I'm getting foggy in some of the details. So I do remember instead of garlic or a wooden stake through the heart, there was something about a golden, it was made of gold, a golden toy.
Okay, you can just say it. It's got to be a dildo, right? Okay, so the big question I have for you, would you watch it again?
Yeah, I'm busy that day.
Okay.
But if you're curious.
No?
No?
Yes, sure.
Maybe a little bit. It's definitely a so bad it's good type of forgotten cult VHS era garbage, which is something you would find on the bottom of the heap on our garbage barge.
Okay, so speaking of dildos.
I don't think we were.
Segue with me here.
Okay.
Did Video Gallery have that special curtain in the back? You know, the forbidden room. It might have been red velvet, or perhaps just a string of beads. I won't ask about Video Voyager because it was just a whole creepy situation, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Naive little me had no idea what was back there. I just figured it wasn't The Land Before Time. Maybe it was videos that were like the horror films or something.
You were close. It was all the naked people movies, you know, Darwin the Naughty Maids, the guys delivering pizzas to sluts. Come on, you never peeked back there?
No,
That
never.
Crunchy curtain?
No. No.
Okay, so you never found out what was back there for real.
Oh, but I did because of the Christians and the fire department.
What? Oh, God. Oh, what now? All right, I know your hometown is beyond weird, but even I'm not seeing the connection, so help.
There was a scandal. Someone kept stealing the naughty videos from behind the curtain. This was a time before security cameras were affordable and good quality.
The good old days when you could shove
the
porno
police-
tapes down your pants.
That's what they were doing. Sort of. Not really. They had a different way. So they finally set up a sting to catch them, and the police were all over this. And come to find out, it was some guys from the fire department. Yeah, they had set up this crime ring of stealing them and then reselling them or renting them under the radar to other people. And it gets even deeper. The main ringleader was this guy who was a big deal at the evangelical church, which of course confused me even more at that age because I was like, wait, I thought those were naughty movies. Aren't those sinful? I don't get it.
The baby Jesus is crying right now.
He was weeping over this. And I was at an age where I couldn't believe people would record such things. It was pre-internet. Before that was, I was like, why would you record that? But now the internet's paved with porn.
Well, it's paved with cats too. But okay, so how exactly did they get caught and how were they stealing these porno tapes?
I think they had some sort of special firefighter access to the store, which is kind of common today. And they were abusing it. They're not supposed to go in unless it's on fire.
Like a special fireman door or something. Okay.
Like a Knox box. Yeah, that's something like that. Some predecessor to it. So these stories are running in the local paper for weeks, and everyone's like, who's stealing the porn?
Where my porno at?
Who's doing it? Who is it, right? And so then the story got put in there that the video store had installed secret hidden cameras and that the police were in the process of getting a search warrant to recover the videos and arrest the people involved. Now, that was a bluff.
Well, good police work.
But it worked.
Yes.
So the church guy freaked.
No.
And he put them all in the garbage cans behind the firehouse, which of course was found by a bunch of older teenagers. You got to put the lid on when you throw away, Debbie Does Dallas.
No,
out
teenagers are like raccoons. Even a lid isn't going to help keep them from the porno tapes.
I suppose you might be right. And parents start seeing these videos and they're like, where did you get this? From the garbage, I swear. Well, they did. And the parents called the police because they think it's probably related to this ring of stolen, and they're probably worried their kids involved. they took fingerprints. I don't know how they were legally able to check those, but they did, and it led them to the crime ring. I know. Small towns in the 90s, man. Small towns.
So your town had a porno crime ring. Mine had a film critic with a name tag. All right. Did your store have the video snob guy?
No.
Ours did. Oh, this guy was so pretentious. He should have been, I don't know, working for Andy Warhol, but he was at Blockbuster in Palos Verdes, California. And he existed to look down on your rentals and suggest a superior film.
Oh, one of those guys.
So checking out, he would go, Sister Act 2, I would recommend Bergman, The Seventh Seal, in the original Swedish. And I was like, this is for my mom. And he was like, even better. And, you know, I'm just thinking about this, and I'm getting a little agitated because I shouldn't have had to explain myself to the video guy snob.
Right.
Because listen, I love weird cinema. I love David Lynch. I was raised on John Waters. See, this is why I needed my own card. And that didn't work out.
So you could rent all your own weirdo movies. I get it.
Yes.
Like
and it
a
wasn't just
Queer
because I was trying to impress like the video snob. I don't care. I am much more interesting than Sister Act 2. This is not for me.
So had you had the choice of renting your own video there, what would you have chosen and that he might have been approving of?
Oh, any earlier John Waters film, like Desperate Living, Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble.
Amazing films. I love them.
I love John Waters, and those movies influenced me as much or more than the music I was listening to. It was life-changing. So I didn't need to talk to this snot-nosed brat.
I think those sometimes working at the video store was the cool kid job in the late 90s. You knew,
totally. Yeah,
right? You were the cool kid.
Yeah, it was better than just dipping the onion ring basket and smelling like grease when you get home.
So I'm going to bring in a John Waters movie here, Serial Mom, one of my all-time favorites. Which, have you seen Serial Mom?
Yes, I've seen Serial Mom. I got to be honest, I was a John Waters snob. And at the time, I didn't really love it or appreciate it. But as time has marched on, I do think it is up there. It's a good John Waters movie.
I love it. I saw it actually on TV for the first time, if you can believe that.
Whoa.
This was aired on television. A lot of bleeps, but it was on. It was like the Saturday afternoon movie on WPIX 11 out in New York. You know, it was just, yeah. So Chip, her son, I'm not getting into the whole details of the movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Chip, her son, works at the video store, and he's the cool kid, right? And one of the most rewarding scenes of the movie is when Serial Mom Beverly bludgeons a customer of her son's store to death.
But what is the murder weapon?
Oh, so it was Mrs. Jensen. Beverly follows her home from the video store, breaks in and grabs a leg of lamb from the kitchen. Classic. And beats her to death. And this is why I appreciate this scene. Well, she's sitting there singing along to Tomorrow from Annie, which I hate that musical and that song. And she's completely oblivious, and Beverly screams at her, "Rewind!" as she delivers the final blow with splattering blood all over the TV screen. You'll appreciate this. I don't know if you knew this, little sidebar. The copyright holders of Annie and Tomorrow quoted John Waters a ton of money for the royalties for it. They said $60,000 to use it, which was a lot of money when he made the movie. And he specifically, because of his reputation in past films, they gave him this high price, hoping he'd pick something else. He paid it.
That's insane, $60,000, because Annie's an orphan. She's not supposed to have any money. What the hell, you little scamp?
That should have been his response. That bitch doesn't need money. She's supposed to be poor.
It's a hard knock life.
I'm always baffled by the nostalgia people have for Blockbuster. Does this baffle you at all? Because it baffles me.
Yes.
Okay. Nobody misses Hollywood Video either, just saying.
Hardly anyone remembers Hollywood Video.
That's true. They eventually opened a Blockbuster in Bennington, Vermont, which was just over the border from where I grew up in Hoosick Falls, and I was not impressed at all. I never missed the store when it closed, and I'm kind of a germaphobe anyhow, so the whole idea of video store grossed me out. I mean, think about it. Did anyone stop to think about what those people had touched before they touched the VHS tape and then the case itself? Did you ever think about that, Kat? Or sometimes you opened one up and it smelled like fried food, or even worse, cigarettes. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to get MRSA from Baby Geniuses. No thanks. And I don't know if the person who rented Flubber washed their damn hands after taking a big dump in the bathroom. No way. Not going to die over that movie either. Nope. And how often would it be the wrong movie in there? You get home and you're like, Flipper? Flipper? God damn it. No.
Andre the Seal? What in the fuck?
Right.
And I just want to say that I rented that movie and I found out Andre the Seal was played by a sea lion. Now, that wouldn't go over today.
And you could have gotten herpes from the VHS tape. Cat, did you think about that?
No.
Did you think about it?
No.
You know,
Nobody wants finger herpes.
No. The late fees and the shame and the plastic. Nope. Plastic smell. I don't miss it at all. I'm sorry. I just got really.
No, I understand. And I think I can add to that because I remember searching for a movie, not finding it. And then, what do? You go up to the counter and you ask about it and they check the computer and they go, yeah, it's checked out. Actually, it was due back 2 weeks ago. Then they'd say, you know what? I can go check the chute. Maybe it's stuck in there. And I'd be like, oh, God, the chute. It was like where people would drop things off and they wouldn't come in the store. It was after hours. So they reach in there. Oh, yeah, here it is. It's just like water damaged. I would not want to reach in the chute. How about you?
Oh, God, no. No, I don't even want to touch the video. Do you see this whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get saved from that. And I'll explain because this is a tragedy. This was a tragedy at the time. Perhaps a blessing in disguise. So tell me if this has ever happened to you. Typical video store outing. I was reaching for that one copy of a movie that I wanted to see. And right as I'm going for it, a guy with this big giant hand swoops in and he grabs it. And then he looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "It's a harsh world, girly." Hey, thanks for finding Darwin and Cat Pop Culture Garbage Barge. If you like what you hear, please follow, like, tell a friend, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. It really helps keep this barge afloat. And here I go again. I say it every week. We truly, really appreciate you.
Get on the boat and relive the pain. Helmet hair is rising like a hurricane. My cat's my best friend, and so is my bike. I'm chasing radio signals for any signs of life. Pop culture garbage barge, growing up weird made us who we are. Pop culture garbage barge, get on the boat, dork, and bring your emotional scars. Darwin and Cat on a garbage barge.